Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be reviewing Tocade from the house of Rochas. If you're new here, I'm Luke and I have a perfume channel here on YouTube. I mainly focus on designer and vintage fragrances. I would love to have you as a subscriber. I'll attach a playlist of all my reviews to this video, but today I'm discussing Tocade by Rochas, pronounced with an S at the end. Tocade is a beautiful, underrated floral vanilla scent from the 90s. It has a vintage vibe, but it's also sweet and uplifting. It was love at first sniff for me. However, I have to say, I love it even more now that it has macerated a bit. This is my favorite kind of vanilla scent. Sweet, powdery, floral, ambery, warm and comforting. Tocade was created back in 1994 by the perfumer Maurice Roussel. Fragrantica classifies it as amber vanilla, and I'm adding floral to that. It's a floral amber vanilla. It comes in this tall, amphora-shaped bottle with a somewhat gaudy, kitschy cap that looks like a Chinese hat or something similar. It's really cute, and I think it represents the fragrance really well. Like the bottle, this is a fun, uplifting and whimsical fragrance. In French, une tocade means a capricious whim, a sudden desire or a change of mind. Tocade represents living life on a whim, enjoying life's every moment, being unpredictable and maybe just doing something fun and a bit crazy. That's the spirit this fragrance evokes. And it's a fun fragrance. It's a floral vanilla scent that is also powdery and sweet, but not without being interesting. It has some interesting additions. It's a typical fragrance of its time, a big floriental scent from the 90s. It opens with a burst of citrus. A big cloud of scent hits you in the face as soon as you spray this on. It has this beautiful, classic, perfumey sweetness. It does transition to the florals in the heart notes quite quickly. The citrus is indeed a passing whim. It comes and goes. The next thing you smell is a bright pink powdery rose, reinforced by a sort of bitterness and greenness that comes from the geranium. But the lipsticky powdery rose really cuts through. You also get a touch of iris, which renders this scent quite cosmetic, I would say. And I have to say that when I first got this fragrance, the rose was much more prominent. But after about 5 months or so, the base, which is all about the amber, the vanilla and the tonka bean, the base becomes the star of the show. Just keep that in mind. The newer batches of this fragrance might be a bit more soapy, a bit more rosy, a bit fresher. But even when this fragrance is new, the dry down is really nice, very warm, creamy, comforting. And it's not just a sweet vanilla. Don't think this is a pure vanilla fragrance. No, absolutely not. It wouldn't be a 90s fragrance if it didn't have a woody touch in the base. Yes, it has something that makes it slightly scratchy, in the same way that L'Encombre Trésor has woody notes that might go in the ashtray direction from time to time. You know, it has this scratchy woodiness in the base. And it's a proper grown-up fragrance, despite also being sweet and playful. As I said, this fragrance is all about the vanilla and the rose, which is a sweet kind of rose, but it also has a touch of sourness. Is this fragrance a true gourmand, you might ask? No, it's not, in my opinion. Some reviewers describe it as Turkish delight, and I can see why. And I even agree that it smells like Turkish delight in an abstract kind of way, perhaps. But it's not a gourmand scent because of the prominent florals and woods in the base. The vanilla in this fragrance is the vintage type of vanilla, a slightly plasticky Barbie head type of vanilla that you can also find in Chopard Cashmere, in Cacharel, Lulu, and other vanilla-dominant fragrances from the 80s and 90s. This fragrance is beautiful. It's absolutely delightful and optimistic, but don't expect it to smell like sugary vanilla or Turkish delight because you'll be disappointed. The aromatic notes and the geranium add a slight harshness to it, so this isn't a straight up vanilla scent. You may want to know what other fragrances Tocade reminds me of. Well, it's similar to Chopard Casimir, which I also have and love, but that one is a bit more peachy, and it's also similar to Coty Vanilla Fields, which is another peachy vanilla from the 90s. Tocade has a bit more rose. Some other distant relatives might be Cinema from Yves Saint Laurent, which is discontinued, unfortunately, or Classique, the original Eau de Toilette from Jean-Paul Gaultier. I own all of the fragrances that I mentioned except Cinema, and I still find a place in my collection for Tocade. I think it's unique enough to own, even if you have all the other ones. So maybe just another piece of advice for anyone wanting to purchase this fragrance. As much as I don't like when people on YouTube tell you to buy something and let it macerate, I do think that this scent will reach its full potential about 6 months after opening. I opened mine in May and wore it a couple of times just to introduce some oxygen into the bottle. When I first got it, the rose stage lasted about 3 hours. Now I get more vanilla. It goes straight to vanilla, from the opening to vanilla. It's just perfection, and I can't wait for it to macerate some more. It's truly a delicious 90s style vanilla scent with hints of powdery rose, green geranium and warm tonka bean. And it's criminally underrated if you ask me. It's a true hidden gem. Did I mention that the performance is also amazing? It lasts all day on me and the projection is fantastic. You can get this for around $30 euros pounds, which is a bargain in my opinion. You get 100 milliliter for such an amazing price. If you happen to like older designer fragrances, unique designer fragrances that don't smell like everything else on the market, these older designer fragrances are worth checking out because they're always affordable on the grey market and they smell amazing. And I just love Tocade and I enjoyed reviewing it very much. So thank you so much for watching. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Have a great day. Bye.